So, anyone who's ever placed a single foot in Vrindavan Dham should know that that is his prime responsibility. Why are we preaching the glories of Vrindavan Dham all over the world? It is to induce people to go for the Kripa Kori Guru Kori Vrindavanavasi, to become Brajvasis. It is to give them the facility to take advantage of the greatest place on this earth planet for making rapid spiritual progress. Did you know that chanting the holy name, I just read in Hari Bhakti Vilas today, that chanting the holy name in Vrindavan Dham is equivalent to chanting, even chanting, say like you chant one round of Nam Japa in Vrindavan. That is equivalent to chanting 1 billion rounds in Delhi. Not 1,000 times the benefit. Hari Bhakti Vilas said it's 1 billion times. So, it is my duty. As you know, I've been making my humble effort to push on Nam Sankirtan from one of the most important centers in our ISKCON society. Srila Prabhupada has written that if for any reason all other centers, including the Delhi Temple, have to be closed, if for any reason, but Vrindavan and Mayapur must remain open at all costs. Because, as Prabhupada himself has said, all the other temples in ISKCON are home away from home. So if I can see from today's experience that if I want a home away from home, Delhi Temple is a good place to start. However, Srila Prabhupada further elaborated. He said that all temples in ISKCON are home away from home, but Vrindavan is actually home. So he preferred, this was an incident in Mauritius when he got into an accident, and he hurt his knee. We have to remember hearing about that episode. So he was toying with the idea of where to go to sit for translating, finishing his translation work. Because devotees were calling him to South Africa and here and there and everywhere. And Prabhupada was saying, after his experience of injury on the road, he was saying that traveling is very dangerous, it's very risky. Sometimes we glorify Srila Prabhupada that he took so much risk. 2 heart attacks from the Telugu crossing the ocean and like this. But actually, honestly speaking, there's risk just coming from Vrindavan to Delhi by car. There's every bit as much, if not more, risk in certain respects. The public highway is considered to be the most dangerous place on earth. So, anyway, we should remember, this is the Bhagavad-gita. We should remember 2 things. Kale Kale Namaru Krishna Avatar. Kale Kale Namaru Krishna Avatar. And he says also that Krishna Shakti meaning nahi bharat. That without being empowered by Krishna Shakti, there's no question of non-pracharya. In other words, we have to chant Shudhanam. We have to take shelter of the real Harinam Prabhu, who is not different from Krishna, including all of his Antaranga Shaktis, the Swarup Shakti, etc. Because it's that Antaranga Swarup Shakti, spiritual Shakti, Bhakti Shakti, which ignites the dormant prema that is there in the wood of our heart. So in order to come to the platform of chanting Shudhanam, the most highly recommended process in all the Shastras and by all of our acharyas to actually elicit the mercy of the holy name, so that the holy name, Golokera Premadan Harinam Sankirtan, the holy name will descend, taking pity on us, seeing our struggle to beseech His special causes mercy on fallen conditioned souls like us, so that He takes pity on us and descends from Golok Dham into our hearts and dances on our tongue. It's one thing for someone to snick Ram Ram on his japamala quietly somewhere, but you should know beyond any shred of doubt that the process of Nam Sankirtan is a louder voice for calling out for Krishna's mercy. The process of Nam Sankirtan is the most viable process for attaining Krishna Prema in this Kali Yuga. It's the most viable process. It's the most universal process, applicable to every living entity, primarily those who have taken the human form of life, but even those who don't even have ears, like snakes or stones or trees. They can be elevated to the spiritual world simply by hearing one recitation of Shudhanam from the lips of a Shuddha Bhakta. So how important it is for us to come to the platform of chanting Shudhanam. Kali Kali Nam Rupe Krishna Avatar. Who is the Krishna Avatar? The most important Krishna Avatar in Kali Yuga is Sri Harinam, Shudhanam. That is non-different from Krishna. So, we should know that in Bhagavad-gita, where Krishna says, Daivi Yesha Gunamai Mama Maya Duratyaya. What is it? Huh? That's what you think. I say, Nam Evaye Prapadyante. Who is that Nam in Kali Yuga, if it is not Harinam? Therefore, it is not difficult to draw the conclusion. Those who have Sumedataha, Jagyai Sankirtana Prayar, Yajanti Hi Sumedataha. Those who have Sumedataha will be able to draw such a conclusion that in Kali Yuga, how to easily cross Mayam Ekam Charanti, how to easily cross over this insurmountable Mama Maya Dharatyaya, very difficult to overcome, by taking shelter, by surrender. Mam Evaye, Nam Evaye, Prapadyante, surrendering to the holy name. Therefore, Krishna in Bhagavad-gita, at the end of the Bhagavad-gita, he says, Sarva Dharmam Parityaja. There's only one Dharma in Kali Yuga. And that is Sankirtan Jagya. Sarva Bhakti Star. It is the essence of all devotion. All devotional processes are complete simply by engaging in Sankirtan. There are 5 most important angas of devotional service. What are they? Nam Sankirtan is number 1. Bhagavad Shravan, Srimurti Seva, Mathura Vas, and Sadhu Sangha. So Bhaktisiddhanta Saraswati Thakur, he tells that without performing Nam Sankirtan, none of the other, even these 4 other most powerful processes of devotional service, which can, by adhering to any one of them, invoke Bhav within the heart. But in Kali Yuga, you cannot expect that to happen without also performing Nam Sankirtan. So 5 angas of devotional service are complete when they're coupled with the performance of Nam Sankirtan. Sadhu Sangha is complete when we come together, Sangha Kirtan, Sankirtan. That is the most powerful and complete form of Sadhu Sangha. The essence of Bhagavad. What is the essence of Bhagavad? What is the purpose of Bhagavad? To induce us to take shelter of the Yuga Dharma Harinam Sankirtan, by which we can even begin to hope to attain the ultimate prayojana, the ultimate type of prema, which is advocated in the Bhagavad, and that is Vraja prema, particularly Gopi prema, but not to exclude the other rasas. But the highest rasa, which was propagated by Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, namely Radha Dasyam, means the maid service of Srimati Radharani in Vraja Dham. That is most violently facilitated. That culture is most violently facilitated. How? Simply by chanting the Tadak Brahma Kirtan mantra for this age of Kali, which is unlike any Tadak Brahma Kirtan in the other ages, because it is a completely Madhurya-maya Yugal Radha Krishna mantra, which is meant for infusing the soul with Vraja Bhakti Shakti. So this Hare Krishna Mahamantra Sankirtan is considered to be the absolute supreme form of devotional service in Kali Yuga. And we should never forget it. Why are we distributing books all over the world? To induce people to take shelter of the Yuga Dharma Harinam Sankirtan. Why is all the information there in the books about Krishna's Venu Madhurya, his Rupa Madhurya, his Leela Madhurya, his Dham Madhurya? All of it is simply for the purpose of helping us to understand that Krishna's name is worthy of our respect, worthy of our surrender. Therefore, he says, Sarva Dharma Parityaja. All other dharmas, kick them out. Nam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. Where? Vraja. Vraja. That's where. Now, home away from home is very good. But as much as possible, as often as possible, this is my invitation to you. Remember? As much as possible, please, 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 don't deprecate the principle of coming and at least for a few hours in a week or however often you can, take shelter of Vrindavan Dham. Because when you chant the holy name in Vrindavan, you get the benefit of chanting 1 billion names with every name you chant. That is the fast track back to Godhead. If you want to go back to Godhead in this lifetime, then you should take advantage of His most powerful facility offered to humanity by Krishna and His purest devotees, Sri Vrindavan Dham, for making the progress that you need to make to get Krishna Prema, so that you merit entering into the Bhagavad-gita of Krishna for the further training, so that you can onward to go. So it's absolutely necessary. You're so close to Vrindavan. I don't ever want to leave Vrindavan. And practically speaking, I never do. So you should also never leave Vrindavan. At least as long as you're serving based from your home away from home, you should always remember that your real home is Vrindavan. And you should come home as often as possible, at least to chant, a few rounds now and then, and get the benefit. You have no idea how much benefit there is by taking shelter of Dham. Sarva Dharmam Pratyaja Nam Ekam Sharanam Vraja. But Krishna says, what does Vraja mean? It means to go. But according to our Acharya, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur, he says it automatically, simultaneously indicates where to go. Because why is Krishna telling? Krishna's standing. He's standing right there. Arjuna's right there. He could have said, just surrender to me. Why did he say go and surrender to me? Go where? He wasn't saying, go fight the battle of Kurukshetra. He was making a very sanguine philosophical point. To go to Vraja and surrender to me there. And in fact, that's what Arjuna did as Arjuniya Gopi. Arjuna became Arjuniya Gopi. Are you aware of this story? He was reclining with Krishna in Hastinapur, wherever that is. And he was, in Kripa. It was in Kripa, wasn't it? And then he was asking Krishna, he said, what is this I heard about? You had your childhood pastimes, and there was dancing and gopis, and then Krishna says, Arjuna, you don't want to hear about these things. We're warriors. These things, yes, those were my people. That was my place. But that was then, and that was now. So then Arjuna became very disturbed, and he fell unconscious on the ground because he was fearing that Krishna wouldn't share that with him. So then Krishna picked him up and embraced him to his heart and told him that Arjuna, you're so dear to me. After reviving him, he told him, Arjuna, you're so dear to me that I'm not only going to tell you about it, and I'm not only going to show you, but I'm also going to give you the experience. So then he instructed Arjuna to worship Goddess Katyayani. And then Katyayani told her maidservants to take Arjuna to, I forget the name of the Sarovara, was one lake, and had him take bath in the western shore of the lake. And then the voice from the sky tells to be careful not to drown, but somehow or other he reappeared, he resurfaced on on the western bank. I mean the eastern bank, whichever. Whatever. And when he came out of the water, he was no longer a he. He was no longer Arjuna. He was Arjuniya. Arjuniya Gopi. So then he heard some, prattling means conversation, light, jovial conversation, coming along with the sound of ankle bells coming down the footpath. And who does he see? He sees a whole group of Sakhis coming along. And then one of the Sakhis in that group says, hey, who's that new girl over there? So then they come closer and ask Arjuniya, then who are you? Whose daughter are you? Whose father? Which village are you from? And Arjuna said, but I don't know. I don't know what happened. I was just told to take my bath, and then somehow I came out on this side of the pond, and now and they told me that I would meet my friend there. So then they asked, well, would you like to meet our leader? Yes, I know. So then they said, well, if you want to meet our leader, then you have to do a little tapasya. So then they told that he had to chant a certain number of rounds of Radha Nam. And then after doing that, they brought him, I'm abbreviating the story a little, but they brought him to meet Vraja. And they told that you have to perform arti and make offerings to Radharani. And then this way, Radharani accepted her and embraced her. And when Radharani embraced Arjuniya, then Arjuniya became overwhelmed with an ecstasy that he never experienced as Arjuna. 10 million times the ecstasy that he experienced as Arjuna, he experienced upon receiving Srimati Radharani's embrace. But so much overwhelming was that ecstasy that she fell unconscious. And then, after a little time, which was not able to be understood, how long time, some few moments or hours or who knows how long, Arjuna came to his external consciousness, and he was hearing in the distance some nice music, and so then he came, following the sound, he came into a clearing, and there was Radha and Shamsundar sitting on the throne, surrounded by the Sakhis making music. And so then Krishna, Shamsundar, sees this blue Sakhi and says to Radha, who's that girl? And then, of course, she was already acquainted. So then Radha called her close and introduced her to Krishna, telling Krishna that he should take Arjuniya to the Kunj and do the needful. So then Arjuniya was hesitant, but then Krishna grabbed her by the hand and pulled her away into the kunj, and enjoyed with her it says, for a long time. Meanwhile, Srimati Radharani was very pleased to make these arrangements for Arjuna to experience what it is like as Arjuniya Gopi. Actually, Arjuniya Gopi is the original feature of Arjuna. Arjuna is the Vraja Varshada expansion. You know, in Chaitanya Charitamrita it's described how Ramananda Roy was inclusive of Vishaka, Arjuna, and Arjuna the cowherd boy and also Arjuna and Gopi. They were all, manifest in one personality. So Arjuna and Gopi is also an eternal personality revealed. So then, after enjoying with Arjuna, Krishna told to some of the maidservants that she must be very tired after enjoying so many pleasure pastimes with me. You should take her and relieve her fatigue by bathing her in the lake. So then she enters the lake, and then she pops out on the other side of her as Arjuna, and he looks around, and there's no more Sakis, and he's back to his normal level of Ananda, and he becomes totally, totally distressed, and collapses on the ground. Thinking,